I wonder, what signs of new life have you seen? Hi everyone. Okay, for today's collective worship, we're going to be looking at a different I wonder question. And the I wonder question today is, I wonder, what signs of new life have you seen? Now, some of you might have been lucky enough to go out on little walks recently to keep up our exercise and to stop us all from feeling a bit the samey, being inside all the time. And the other day, I was out with my two little boys and we were on a walk around and we found something that I think we wouldn't have normally seen in these times if we'd have just been going out for a walk any other time of day, because it's something that was on the middle of the in the middle of the pavement, but that would have been squashed probably. And I just wanted to share it with you now. And it's definitely a sign of new life. I'm sure some of you will be able to tell me what it is, if you can see there. So that's one bit. I found another bit as well that had dropped onto the floor. Now, we looked it up afterwards. I think it's actually a little blackbird egg. We're not 100%, so if anyone's a real expert in identifying birds' eggs, please tell us. But it was a lovely little reminder of the new life going on all around us. And a lot of you might have spotted that, heard that you're probably noticing more bird song at the moment, because the world's a little bit quieter. There's a lot fewer cars around. There's a lot less noise from the town in general. So you might be noticing you're hearing birds singing a little more. And lots of nature programs have said how lots of things are really flourishing and growing well in this time when we're having to stay indoors and not having such a big impact on the world. And those signs of new life are all around us. Now, there are lots of times of the year when we have new starts, a new chance to start things off. I remember last September talking to you all in a collective worship about when I started at All Saints, and it was a new start, a new school year. And I remember telling you about all the new things I'd bought, and new things that I brought with me in my job. One of them was I bought lots of new shirts and a new pair of trousers. And I don't know if you remember, but on the first day, I wore that new pair of trousers and I left a little label on them. And no one noticed. It didn't really matter. But we're going to be thinking about a different type of new start and a new life today. There's a little picture here that might give you a bit of a clue. And just a quick story really to share with you. Now this is a true story. It's happened really recently. But when all the schools were closed and people were asked to stay at home where they possibly could, I had a little idea, and it was getting about the time of year when I think about it anyway. So I went into the shed, and springtime is a time to do this. And it was a time when the weather was okay, it wasn't too bad, and I had a good clear out of the shed. So I got everything out of the shed because I thought, do you know what? I think it'd be a good time of year to have a dig in the garden and plant some things to grow for the new year. So last year we grew lots of vegetables and lots of them worked. Other bits didn't grow that well because we planted them a little bit late. So I thought, right, we'll be on it this year. March time, we'll get sorted. And I looked in the shed and I thought, do you know, I've not actually got many things to plant. So I went onto the internet and looked for things to buy. I thought, right, I'll buy a few little new seeds. But do you know what? Lots of other people have had the same idea. So loads and loads of the seeds that are normally in shops, in DIY shops and garden centres had sold out. And I looked on Amazon and places like that, and they'd all sold out as well. And I thought, okay. So I talked to my little boys and we went into the shed and I said, right, well, I've got some seeds, but a lot of them are a few years old. So, what should we do? And talked to them, and I said, well, some of the seeds might not grow if we plant them because they're quite old, and they might have got very hot or very cold. There have been like frosts over the last few years, and some of them, I mean, the date on one of these was 2012, which is 8 years ago, and I thought, well, they just might not grow at all. But then it struck me about new life, and I thought, well, if we don't plant the seeds, they certainly won't grow. And all the time they're just sitting there in a dusty shed. They've been tucked away, labelled, and they've not been given the chance to grow at all. So if we don't plant them, we'll never know. And when I explained that to my 2 little boys, they said, "Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, no, we need to give them a chance to grow." So we did. We got some little pots and popped in some compost, made some little holes and popped the seeds in, all different types of ones. And we thought, well, we may as well try some of them. Some of them were just in little white packets and I'd forgotten to label them. So we just popped them in and tried them, watered them, popped them in little seeds. And sure enough, some of them have grown. Now, there was one set of seeds that didn't grow, and they were some cress seeds that were obviously too old and they'd gone a bit mouldy or something over time, so they didn't work at all. But there was one set that I thought, do you know what, there's no chance with these. I've never managed to grow them well, and that's carrots. Now, carrots, you get loads of them in supermarkets. They're quite cheap, and they're quite a good source of food. They can be sweet, and if you eat them by themselves, you can cook them, you can roast them, do all sorts of things with carrots, and rabbits like them, obviously. But they're actually quite tricky to grow because they need a certain sort of soil. They need quite soft soil. So I said, do you know what, boys, if we're going to grow these seeds, we're going to need to do a bit more work. And again, I thought, is it worth it? Because they might not work. They're old seeds. They were at least 5 years old, the seeds were. And I thought, well, after that time, they just might not grow at all. But I said to them, shall we see if we can do it? And so we looked up a little guide, and it said they're going to need sandy soil, sort of soft soil that's not too squashed together. And that's not like the soil in our garden. And I said, well, we've not got any sand either. So again, I looked up and I thought, well, buy a little packet of sand or something and see if we've got any. But there was none left. So what we did was we asked the boy's granddad, and he luckily had some sand left over from last year, so he came and dropped it round to our house, and I left it on the front doorstep. And the next time we were in the garden, we took the sand and we mixed it with the soil, popped the carrot seeds in. Now this was about 4 weeks ago, and I put the seeds in, and part of me still thought, I don't think they're going to grow. I just don't think they're going to work. But again, it's back to what I said to them. If we don't try, we'll never know. So they're just going to sit there doing nothing, and we can't really, we could try and plant them again next year, but we may as well try it now. So we did. We popped them in. And just before I show you another image, I just want you to think about those little seeds, a bit like you at the moment. Some of you might feel a little bit stuck inside somewhere. You might feel like you're not being given chance to grow and show your full potential. And some of the little seeds of ideas and activities and things that you've got in your head are a bit like some of the little seeds that were stuck in my shed as well. They're not being given a chance to grow at the moment. So you've got to put that work in. You've got to put that work in and have the time and the conditions to grow well. So the soil and the water and the sunlight are like some of the situations that we're in at the moment. We're going to need that extra bit of care for things to work well. And it might take a bit longer. Now back to the carrot seeds anyway. We kept watering them, and after about a week some of the other seeds had started to grow and show through. Like, oh great. And after about 2 weeks, again, the seeds had got bigger, the other ones, the seedlings, but the carrots, nothing at all. And it came to this weekend, and it was a really lovely weekend. I said, right, well, we'll get some of the other seeds into the ground, but do you know what? I think those carrot seeds that were in big pots, just not working at all. And sure enough, the last time we checked them at a Last Chance Saloon, I went over, and rather than talk you through it, I'll show you. So some of the seeds that we planted, you can see here. If I just show you under this cloche here, that's a sweet pea. It's going to go into a beautiful flower soon, but it needs protection. And you can see the rain's falling now, actually, which is lovely. These are some of the wildflowers that we've planted, all sorts of different types of ones. And over here, some sunflowers as well, sunflower seeds. And here, in these pots, are the carrots. Just there. Hopefully you can see just tiny seeds growing through. I'm going to keep an eye on them growing, and hopefully we'll be able to feed some rabbits soon with those. Okay everyone, let's have a bit of a sing-song, shall we? We'll try Who Put the Colours in the Rainbow. Here we go. Who put the colours in the rainbow? Who put the salt into the sea? Who put the cold into the snowflake? Who made you and me? Who put the hump upon the camel? Who put the neck on the giraffe? Who put the tail upon the monkey? Who made hyenas laugh? Who made snails and whales and quails? Who made hogs and dogs and frogs? Who made bats and rats and cats? Who made everything? Who put the gold into the sunshine? Who put the sparkle in the stars? Who put the silver in the moonlight? Who made Earth and Mars? Who put the scent into the roses? Who taught the honeybee to dance? Who put the tree inside the acorn? It surely can't be chance. Who made seas and leaves and trees? Who made snow and winds that blow? Who made streams and rivers flow? God made all of these. So to conclude our collective worship, just to going to invite you to join me if you want to pray with me. We're going to say our school prayer together. Okay, hands together. Hold my hand, God, lead the way. Help me be good every day. Let me know what is wrong and right. Keep me safe in your guiding light. Let me know what you have planned. Lead the way, God. Hold my hand. Amen. Right, everyone. Thank you. Okay, year 2, if you'd like to stand up first and lead it quietly out the hall. Thank you. Oh, very good, year 2. And now year 4, if you'd like to do the same. Year 6, you can stay where you are for a moment. Thank you. Year 4, stand up. Very good. Oh, well done, year 4. That's terrific. Right, year 5, set the example as well. Up you get. Thank you. Very nice. Lovely walking. Terrific. And then we'll have year 6 and year 1 together. From different doors. Yes, thank you. Well done. That's great. Year 3, you have to wait till the end normally, but you can go first today. Before our final class, and that's reception. Well done. You leave quietly through the hall. Okay, that was very silly. Keep safe, everyone.